Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about your relationship with yourself. This is something that I believe is one of the most important things out there, and yet so many people get it wrong because so many people don't understand this simple fact, which is you're going to be going through your entire life in your own company. Wherever you go, you will be there. And yet, a lot of people don't even like themselves. That is crazy to me. Like, I understand why this happens, but what gets me is why so many people don't choose to work on their relationship with themselves, why we don't talk about this more often. In fact, a lot of people think that working on your relationship with yourself can lead to narcissism, to selfishness, that it's like a bad thing, when it's really not, provided, of course, you do it the right way. So that's what I want to discuss in this video, how to go about creating a better relationship with yourself the right way. So first things first, it's important to practice self-love. So what is self-love? It's kind of this buzzword nowadays, right? Like, a lot of people have weird definitions for it. Yet again, going back to what I said earlier, a lot of people think self-love is like narcissism or selfishness. It's not. What self-love basically, to me, is all about is treating yourself better, being kinder to yourself, being gentler to yourself up here with your thoughts. Because when we talk about the relationship we have with ourselves, it's all up here, right? Like, unless you're physically talking to yourself out loud all the time, like, yo, how am I doing today? I'm doing well. How about you? Like, that's kind of crazy. So nobody does that. So our relationship with ourselves takes place in this space. So you want to master that. You want to be better to yourself there. You want to kind of think of treating yourself the way that you treat people you deeply care about. People who are important to you, like your best friends, or especially your romantic interests, your partners that you're with, or your close family members. The way you treat them is usually the way you want to treat yourself, provided you have good relationships with them and you treat them well. But you don't want to beat yourself up. You don't want to be unsupportive. You don't want to be your own worst enemy. You don't want to self-sabotage. You want to be there for yourself. You want to cheer for yourself, be able to motivate yourself and support yourself. And that all starts by monitoring the way you think, so you can finally catch those moments where you're not doing those things. The moments where you beat yourself up and you're absolutely horrible to yourselves. The moments where you're thinking, I want to try this new thing, and immediately a negative thought interjects and says, you can't do that. You're not ready for that. You don't have the right skill set, or you're not X, Y, or Z. And basically you find a way to shut yourself down. And many people don't realize that they do this. They lack this self-awareness. So self-awareness is the first thing you need to practice self-love. You just need to get better at monitoring your thoughts. Meditation can help with that because it helps you notice when you're even thinking in the first place. But otherwise, just try to take a step back more often throughout the day and think to yourself, how do I feel right now? And try to analyze what you're thinking in those moments. Because you'll find, if you don't like who you are, usually that's because of outside forces. So what that means is those thoughts of you not liking yourself, not being supportive to yourself and whatnot, those aren't your thoughts, I would wager. Those are trained thoughts. That's conditioning from all the years of being around people who weren't supportive of you, from being around childhood bullies, or even your parents maybe, or teachers, or anyone who just wasn't there for you, wasn't supportive of you. We kind of ingrain those thoughts within ourselves because this all happens when we're young, right? So we don't know any better. We don't know that this is bad conditioning from all these people around us who we shouldn't even listen to. But kids, they just don't know that yet. They don't have the life experience yet to hear what all these unsupportive people are saying and to just shut them out. Instead, we take it all personally and we start thinking we're not good enough. So, you want to remind yourself that quite often those negative thoughts you have about yourself, where you beat yourself up, those aren't your thoughts. Because if you didn't have those unsupportive people growing up, you wouldn't think that way. Like, think about this. How often do babies or should I say toddlers, give up when they're unable to walk the first time they try? That's not really a thing, right? Like, toddlers don't come into this world doubting themselves. I'm very curious about the concept of self-doubt because I don't believe it's something we intrinsically have within ourselves. I think it's something people learn. So you just watch babies and toddlers. Like, they don't quit on anything unless it doesn't work after like the God knows how many tries. They keep trying until finally things work out. They do that with walking. They take a few steps, they fall on their butt, and they may cry or whatever for a little bit, but once those emotions are gone, they get up and they try again, and they keep trying until they're finally able to walk. You don't see them beating themselves up and giving up and thinking, I can't do this, I can't learn how to walk. That's not what we do. We have to learn to doubt ourselves. So realize those thoughts aren't your own and start rejecting them. Don't listen to them. They're not you at the core. You may have allowed them to become a part of you, but it's something you can let go of because it's not the real you at the core of who you are. So hopefully that's helpful for practicing self-love. So you basically want to think of your relationship with yourself as you striving to become your own best friend. Because, as I said earlier, you will be going through this entire life in your own company. It only makes sense to view yourself as a friend. So practicing what I said earlier, practicing that self-love, developing awareness of your thoughts, being more supportive of yourself, that will help. But another thing you want to work on is thinking of kind of taking yourself out on dates, on learning to enjoy your own company, because so many people don't. And yet again, you're going to be in your own company your entire life. So it only makes sense that you should enjoy spending time by yourself, because you will be alone most of the time. We all know that, right? Like, even if you're in a relationship, you're going to have plenty of time spent alone, because your partner won't always be around. And that's not even due to them literally choosing to be away. It's just life, right? Like, they're going to go to work and so will you. Then you'll be driving to and from work and you'll be distant from each other during those moments, or you'll occasionally do things without them. You'll hang out with your friends and whatnot, maybe go see family or do whatever it may be without them. But they're not always going to be there. So no matter where your situation is in life, you will inevitably spend a lot of time alone. So knowing that, strive to enjoy that time. Strive to enjoy your own company. That's why I mentioned taking yourself out on dates. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it really is a good way to get to know yourself better and to enjoy your own company. Because many people don't do anything they enjoy by themselves. Like, okay, there are some things everybody will do by themselves for the most part. Like, if you enjoy gaming, you probably do that by yourself, or reading. Things like that people tend to do alone. But what about the other things you enjoy? The activities that are more so associated with having other people around. Well, if you're going to be going through most of your life alone, you should get to a point where you can do those kinds of activities by yourself and feel comfortable and even enjoy them. Like going to the movies, going to your favorite restaurant, going for hikes. Although, whenever I bring up this example, I always have to throw in the caveat here. If you're going to hike alone or do anything like that alone, please just do it safely. Like, have some form of self-defense tool if need be, because it's just a smart thing to do. But that caveat being out of the way, just strive to do things like that you enjoy by yourself. Going to concerts. I actually, a few years back, went to a concert by myself, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've had. So get into the habit of learning to enjoy your own company by doing the things you enjoy, even if you don't have other people with you. Because if you wait for other people to always be around, I like to call that outsourcing your happiness, because you're never going to have it when you're by yourself, because you always need other people to be around for you to be able to do the things you enjoy. That's stupid, because remember what I already said, you're going to be going through most of your life alone. You're not always going to have your friends around, your significant others, your family members. Quite often, it'll be just you. So don't let being alone stop you from enjoying yourself and doing the things that you love. So hopefully by now you understand the importance of this, because I like to think of this almost as like a cheat code for life. If you can get to a point where you really enjoy your own company, really have a strong, healthy relationship with yourself, because so few people do. And that thought does kind of bum me out a bit. It's really unfortunate that this is the state of the world where so few people are taught these things. But that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to help as many people as possible, whoever will see this video, that you can work on your relationship with yourself. You can get to a point where you actually enjoy your own company and you're able to support yourself, cheer for yourself, motivate yourself, and not beat yourself up, not self-sabotage anymore. Sure, you'll still have negative thoughts every now and then, but at least now they won't control you. And you'll find the more that you practice this concept, you'll actually get to a place where a positive voice will interject whenever that negative one rears its ugly head. And instead of listening to that negative voice, you'll often chime in saying, don't listen to that voice, or that's not true, or this voice is dumb, you don't need to listen. Heck, one thing I like to do is I'll literally tell that voice to F off. Just like, get out of here, I don't need your input. You're not me, you're all the childhood conditioning, you're all the doubters I had growing up, and even some until this day. But that voice isn't helpful, so you'll be able to reject it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I truly hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it's been helpful. I mean, yeah, if you can practice this, it really will change your life more than most things out there. So it's certainly something worth putting into practice. It takes a long time. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it's easy. It's not. Most of us know that, but it is worth it. So please make that commitment to yourself. Please make that promise to yourself that you will strive to create a better relationship with yourself. The future you will thank you. But I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this topic. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci.